Hello friends, this video on water a precious resource part 4 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So now we are going to talk about water cycle. Now it is very interesting to know that water, keeps on circulating between various elements of the earth. So sometimes it is present on the surface of the earth, sometimes it is present below the earth's surface, sometimes it is present above the earth's surface. So it kind of keeps on regulating or keeps on circulating within the earth. So this circulation of water is known as water cycle. So water cycle is the movement of water within the earth. So when I say within the earth, it could be on the earth's surface, it could be above the earth's surface, and it could also be below the earth's surface. So let us try to understand the water cycle in more detail. Now there are a couple of processes which are involved as a part of water cycle. So let us look at this example. Let us say these are the water bodies. So here you can see the blue colored structure. It could be a sea, it could be any water body. It could be a river, a pond, a lake. So it is basically a water body or a water reservoir, whatever you call it. Now during the daytime, so sun is present, and in presence of sun, what happens? Evaporation of water from these water bodies take place. So here the water is present in liquid form. So liquid water is present in these water bodies. Now in presence of the sun, this liquid water starts evaporating. That is, the water gets converted into water vapor. That process is called evaporation. So water starts to evaporate. So evaporation. What is evaporation? It is nothing but conversion of water droplets or conversion of liquid water into water vapor. Now, once water vapor is formed, what happens? This water vapor reaches the atmosphere. So here you have the atmosphere. So this is basically the atmosphere. Okay, so the blue sky which you see, that is considered as atmosphere. So this water vapor which was formed as a result of evaporation, this water vapor as it reaches the atmosphere, what happens? When the warm air, it rises, it cools and it loses its capacity to hold the water vapor. Therefore, excess water vapor will start condensing to form the cloud droplets. So here you see the cloud droplets. Correct? And how are these cloud droplets formed? These cloud droplets are formed as a result of a process called condensation. Now what is condensation? Now like how we discussed evaporation, which was the first process, that is liquid water getting converted to water vapor. In condensation, what happens is the water vapor, this water vapor which was formed here. So these are the water vapor, correct? So these water vapor, they get converted into liquid water. So that it is just the opposite of evaporation. So some of the water vapor will get converted into tiny droplets of water and they will remain within the cloud. So that process is called condensation. Now you might ask that why the water vapor gets converted into tiny water droplets. That is why condensation takes place. That's what I explained just now. Now as this water vapor start rising above, so this air here is more warm because sun is providing heat. So when this warm air rises up, it gradually cools down and it loses its capacity to hold the water vapor. Therefore, what happens? The excess water vapor is released out and it condenses to form the cloud droplets. Correct? So that's how condensation happens. So this is the second process which is involved as a part of the water cycle. So you see, first you saw the water was here. The same liquid water is now present in the form of cloud in the atmosphere. Right? Now what happens? The next step that happens is the precipitation. That is the condensation of the atmospheric water vapor. So the clouds are nothing but maybe tiny water droplets or the water vapor in the atmosphere. So all these water vapor, they start falling under the action of gravity and they get condensed into liquid water droplets, and that is when rainfall takes place. So this process is called precipitation. So what is precipitation? It is nothing but the condensation of the atmospheric water vapor which falls under the action of gravity. Now there could be many forms of precipitation. Precipitation could be rainfall. So rainfall is one form of precipitation. Now it is not necessary that every time precipitation is in the form of rainfall. Sometimes precipitation is also in the form of snowfall. You would have seen in the hilly areas that instead of water droplets pouring down, snow flakes pour down. Drizzle is another form of precipitation where you have very tiny droplets of water falling here and there. So there are various forms of precipitation which happens. So precipitation basically is the process which converts, during which the atmospheric water vapor will get converted into liquid water droplets, and those liquid water droplets, whether liquid water droplets or snow, and then they will fall on the surface of the earth under the action of gravity. So that is precipitation. And now what happens? Now when rainfall happens, where does the water go? Now when again rainfall happens, the water falls into the reservoirs, right? So you see, from reservoir, the entire process started. So the water got converted to water vapor, it formed clouds, and then the clouds again fell back as rainfall, and the rainfall again filled the water reservoirs. So this is a cycle where you see the water is actually circulating from the surface of the earth through the atmosphere and then again coming back to the surface of the earth. Now have you also noticed when it rains, the rainfall doesn't happen only on water reservoirs, even on the land the rainfall happens. So what happens to the water which is falling on the land, which is falling on the soil? So the water which is falling on the earth's surface, it passes through the soil. So it passes deep inside the soil, and that is why you can see the soil is what? Soil is made up of soil particles. They are porous, so they allow water to pass through them. So the water can actually fill the spaces between the soil particles. So that's how water starts going even below the earth's surface, and this constitutes the underground water. Now as the water goes down, it forms the underground water. So thus we see that water keeps moving from below the earth's surface, on the earth's surface, and above the earth's surface. So this entire movement of water within the earth is known as the water cycle. So these are some of the common processes which are part of water cycle, like evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more educational videos with a better experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you once again.